I'm proud of every woman who said, I don't want to move the same way anymore.
Shy, pull up to the venue. Like, what's on the menu? I'm getting chauffeur to a feast. I don't mean to offend you. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm gonna eat you like some food.
Final episode of this 7-week series called Help, I'm Toxic, right here on the Chiming with Shy podcast. The place where we heal out loud, hold ourselves accountable, and detox from the toxic traits we try to hide under the rug. Listen, before we even get started, I want to hit you with a statistic that shook me while I was preparing for this episode. According to the American Psychological Association, 7 out of 10 women experience emotional regression, crying spells, mood swings, self doubt during their healing season, even when their lives are actively improving. So, baby, if the new you still cries, you are normal. You are human. You are healing. And this right here is episode 7, the final episode of our 7-week series called Help, I'm Toxic. Hi, my lovelies. It's your girl, Shy. Thank you so much for chiming in with me today, right here on the Chiming with Shy podcast, where we heal out loud, hold ourselves accountable, and detox from those toxic traits we try to sweep under the rug. Now, this was the series where we held up that mirror and said, sis, I've been the problem before. I've been the villain. I've been the hurricane. And now I want to evolve. Yeah. I'm so proud of y'all. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of every woman who said, I don't want to move the same way anymore. And before I go any further, I want y'all to talk back.
Hello? Hello? Oh no, I know she didn't just hang up. Let me call the China Wish Our podcast right back. Call-in line is open. The call-in line is open. Want to be heard on the next China with Shy podcast episode? Drop your truth, story, or question at 513-428-6611. That's 513-428-6611. Your voice might be featured and your story might help another woman heal. China with Shy. Voice your healing. The lifestyle detox.
Call me, leave me a message, share your testimony or your toxic trait breakthrough. Call the Chiming with Shy hotline at 513-428-6611. That's 513-428-6611. Call in and let me play your message on the show. Let's build this community for real. What healing really looks like. Let me tell you something. Healing does not always look like journaling with candles lit and peace in your spirit. Sometimes healing looks like crying on a bathroom floor or the bedroom floor while God holds your heart together. You know, sometimes I cry, and I'm wearing her right now. I think about my mom, and I have my cousin in the background, my cousin Whitney. She'd always applaud me. She'd always support me in everything that I did. She'd be commenting on every video, liking every video, inboxing me and telling me good things about life and how happy and joyful she just is, and how grateful she is in life. I cry when I think of her. I cry when I think of my mom. I cry when I think about all those we had in our presence and we didn't really love them how we really want to love them because we were dealing with our own lives. But I know my angels watches over me. And it's actually one of my biggest motivations on healing out loud and being damn courageous about it. Here are some emotional healing facts. Emotional recovery happens in waves, not straight lines. Crying reduces cortisol and resets the nervous system. So cry it out if you must, and God collects those tears for you. So trust me, it's a part of the detox. Cry. It's not a form of weakness. Just don't get around everybody being a Debbie Downer. Cry to God, don't cry to people like that. Women healing from trauma reports a 52% increase in emotional sensitivity during the first 6 to 12 months. So, yes, The new you still cries because the old you used to suppress everything. And baby, crying while growing is still growth. Let me talk about the silent battles we don't post. You know, what nobody talks about, the silent battles, not texting back the narcissist, grief and mourning your loved ones, holding your tongue when you're triggered, breaking trauma responses, parenting through your own pain, being accountable without shame, choosing peace instead of reaction, walking away from old habits, learning to sit with uncomfortable emotions. Like it's you really trying to build your faith and stay in honor with God at the same time. Jesus, we know how hard that is. I had a moment where detoxing from weed and detoxing from my toxic marriage just felt like too much. It was overwhelming. My anger was louder. My triggers were louder. My cravings were louder. But the new me said, cry, but don't collapse. Cry, but keep going. Cry, but don't go back. Let's get into how relapse don't mean that you're a failure. Sometimes you have to fail your way up out of a situation. Sometimes you have to fail your way into success, fail your way into consistency. If you slip this week, emotionally, spiritually, behaviorally, you didn't fail. You only discovered the wound you still need to clean. I talked about this in the last episode, Rebuilding Her. It takes 66 to 94 days for your brain to fully rewire a new behavior. So you snapping just one day does not eliminate the 30 days of growth. You crying today doesn't mean you're weak. You feeling overwhelmed does not mean you're broken. Relapse is information, not a death sentence to your healing. Give yourself grace, but give yourself accountability too. I love this episode so much because now we're going to talk about becoming the woman you called in. Let me ask you something. Who is the woman you're becoming? Maybe she's softer, more intentional, emotionally balanced, a better communicator, less reactive, more self aware, more disciplined. Healing is not about becoming a new person, it's about returning to who God intended you to be. Renew my mind, renew my habits, and renew my choices. Let's get into this emotional detox tool. Now, I slip up from time to time, but I still use it. Hence, why I'm sharing it with you today on the Chiming with Shy podcast. One, an emotional timeout. Take 10 minutes, no response, no reaction. Sometimes that 10 minutes need to turn into an hour of you walking away, getting in your car, and driving up the street and just stay in your car parked and try to get yourself together mentally, emotionally. Two, pinpoint the trigger. You can't heal what you can't identify. And three, replace the toxic habit. Like I said, walk, pray, journal, dance, sing, make up a song, drink water, sit in silence and reflect, do some slow breathing, meditate. I know those things all so well, but at the end of the day, it helps you be more productive when you replace the toxic trait with something better. Because look, instead of being toxic, guess what I did? I started writing ebooks. I started writing my book. I started doing journals. I started taking everything that I know, not really everything, but I'm trying to continue my journey. You don't know what you know, you don't know what you don't know. I take that toxicity, those toxic traits, and I put it into my works. I transmute that toxic energy into creative energy. I'll make a rap song and talk about everything that I'm dealing with and curse people out in my song because it's therapy to me. I be cursing people out because I don't really be liking people like that. I don't like when people are disrespectful. because they bring the disrespectful person out of me. So therefore, I have to transmute the negative and the toxic energy that I'm getting from those around me. And I have to transmute that energy into a Sis You Need a Do Over book and talk to those people who might be experiencing those same things that I experienced because I'm no longer her anymore. It might help me to write a banger, a new song, the scratch my back and I scratch yours, you know, make up something, do something, replace that toxic trait with something better. I'm telling you, it can only do you good. 4, ground yourself. Say out loud, I'm safe, I'm healing, I'm learning, I'm evolving. Affirm those things and say them out loud. Ground yourself. Come back to reality. Call the hotline. Again, you are not alone. If today triggered something, call me at 513-428-6611. That's 513-428-6611. And let's talk through it. If somebody triggered you or something triggered you, call me and let's talk about it. We're going to talk through it together. I want to thank every single one of you who stuck with me over the past 7 weeks for this 7-week series, Help I'm Toxic. You took accountability, you faced yourself, and you did the emotional work. You detoxed your life. The new me still cries, but she doesn't quit. And sis, neither do you. Join my free Chiming with Shy Facebook group. That's where your sisters, your tribe, your community is waiting. Let's build it together. Now, before we close this episode, let me tell you what's coming next. Our next series is called A Letter to My Brother. And baby, this one is for the men, not to bash them, but to heal with them, to talk accountability, to talk emotional maturity, to talk leadership, love, fatherhood, and spiritual growth. And guess what? Men and women gonna learn something. I'll see y'all in season 2. I love y'all. I'm proud of y'all. Stay dangerous, stay destined, and stay detoxed. Feel loud, love louder. This is your girl Shy, and you are Chiming with Shy. Right here on the Chiming with Shy podcast. Signing off.